Welcome everyone to Earth Song, service and support for Gaia and the New Earth human. Join us as we bring in messages from our beautiful planet, and we also are here to invoke healing and blessings to humanity, nature, and all that is. Join us on this Earth Song journey. Hello friends, hello and welcome to the show. Let's get settled in for a little update for all of my fellow Lightworkers and Starseeds and Earth Angels and Empaths and Twin Flames and Divine Counterparts. This is an episode of Earth Song. This is the little forum that I'm going to be using to be giving updates on the New Earth Now, collective consciousness, how we're doing, how are all of us Lightworkers and Earth Guardians doing on our soul mission, how are we impacting or how has Gaia and the collective consciousness been impacted or helped or aided by the work that we're doing. We're going to bring in the guides from various sacred sites or locations that want to speak to us. I'm kind of leaving it up to Spirit to mold this episode around what you all most need to hear now. It's meant to uplift you and let you know that you're not alone. Even if you feel like maybe you're not doing your soul mission, in a sense you already are. So we want to talk a little bit about that. We're here to raise your vibe. I've got some light language to support you in this now with whatever's going on around you. So let's just sit back and settle in, like I said, wherever you're at. This doesn't have to be one where you're like laying down and like meditating or whatever, but I'm going to first of all thank all of you for joining me here, whether you're new, whether you're a returning listener. Let's just, we are all one. I work under the vibe of unity consciousness, Christ consciousness. If this is your first time to the show, I'm an author, an artist. I create and design oracle and tarot decks, and I write fiction and nonfiction books that are all channeled, all with healing intentions. I'm a master healer. I'm trained, schooled in many modalities, among many other things. That you'll figure out if you stick with me long enough. What else do I want to say? I'm a channel. I'm a light language DNA activator. I activate you through various methods. Word weaving, story weaving, shamanic work, starseed stuff. You may vibe with one or all of the labels I previously shared, Starseed, Lightworker, Empath, 144,000, which, I don't know, you may vibe with all of them. Like, I'm kind of, in a sense, vibe with all of them. Before we go any further, I want to wrap us all in love light and light love. Inviting in the guides who overlight this show, Archangel Michael and Archangel Metatron. Inviting in any other guides, spirit helpers, guardians of sacred sites who may want to join us to talk about this consciousness upgrade, give a little report on how things are going. I was going to just channel it out and write it out, but I'd rather just speak to it here as the guides come in. We could do this either way, but I try to keep it a little bit of variety going too for me. It's like gotta be fun. What else? The last episode, if you missed it, was I forgot what it was. A Galahad transmission, part 2 of our experiential with Sir Galahad. Bringing in messages of, again, unity consciousness and the I am presence. And we did some shamanic healing and dream work. So if you missed that, that's right before this one. Let's just take a deep breath together, affirming the oneness that is our circle and our community. Asking the guides here to help keep me on track with the purpose of this particular show. Uluru has been coming in very strongly, not just for myself, but many other way showers. So who is here with me now in this circle? Triumvirate. We have Archangels. So we have the Archangels. We have we have Galahad. Hi. It's not really your episode, but come on in. We have Commander Ashtar and the Galactic Councils of Light for you Starseeds. It's like there's someone for everyone here. And channeling. Okay. So first of all, let's talk about how we're doing. Us as a collective of beings whose sole mission this lifetime was to come in and uplift humanity and to raise the vibe and the consciousness of our planet, which will in turn raise the vibe and the consciousness of the sentient beings that live in and on and around her surfaces. We're tired, right? We're really kind of worn out right now. No matter what hemisphere you're in, hemisphere, you guys know I always get it wrong, hemisphere, you're either coming up on Imbolc, which is February 1st, the first little inklings of spring, or you're coming up on Lammas and Lunesta, like the harvest, or the one that keeps coming up very strongly that I keep hearing a lot about too, seems to be very important, is the Chinese New Year coming up on February 2nd, I believe, which is going to be bringing us into the year of the water tiger, which has been, like I said, various different way shows have been bringing that one up, and what that means from shifting out of this year of I think it was the metal ox, which just feels very heavy and downtrodden and to more flowing and powerful and more coming into your power. So I know you guys are tired. Believe me, I am too. I know that there is a lot of wishing and wanting for things to be different. And I'm speaking on a personal level as well as a global consciousness level. I think we're very aware, like, I kind of live in a bubble, but I don't live in such a bubble that I can't see, that things still need to be, vibe still needs to be higher. And part of what we do and our little pocket on this channel, as well as all the other little way showers that you interact with and whose messages you receive, and you're carriers of a certain vibration, a certain frequency. Your DNA codes matter and they're unique to you. So when you're feeling like maybe you're not on mission, you're not sure if you are, or in some cases, like things are changing around you. This year is a lot of upheaval and change for some folks. People are possibly moving locations, breaking up or making up in relationships. Like just a lot of things are turning around. Spirit is saying, and it's for the best and highest good of all involved. Many of these things are sacred contracts that are coming into play. Either they're ending and new ones are starting, and it could be a sacred contract with anything. It doesn't just have to be a relationship. It could be a sacred contract that you came into this lifetime to do a certain job or live in a certain location and be an earth guardian there. Like some of these things are shifting and they're kind of saying, unbeknownst to you, in a sense, you're getting an upgrade for all of the good work that you've already done. Even if you feel like maybe you haven't really done that much in the way of the earth or raising the vibe of the planet. So your guides are here to say that poppycock, where's that coming from? Some of my guides are so silly. Poppycock. So you are doing work even without realizing that you're doing work. So they just keep coming back to your DNA and your soul signature matter. Okay. So so many chills there. Everybody's got their own soul signature, their own DNA makeup. And if you're a starseed, it's a little bit different than if you're, what do you want to call it? An earth seed? Earthbound? No, like an earth seed or an earth star. It's a little bit different. But if you could just see, like, it looks so much like I don't know, you guys, I'm really dating myself now, but that game for kids, was it Light Bright, where you would like take the little pegs and when you like put them, stick them in, and then you would make pictures. It was like a board and it would light up, and I think you would put colored pegs in it or something and make pictures. That's what we look like. If you were to like dial way out on the planet, way out, like go to like an earth view of Gaia, and you would see all of us Lightworkers and Starseeds and empaths and earth angels. I don't want to say empath because I think empath is a little, I don't want to get too caught up in the words, but to me, we're all empaths regardless of who we are because we're sensitive to what's going on. Like empath is more overarching, but if you're here to do work on behalf of the light and to raise the vibe of the planet, like, okay, that's who you are, and you can just put whatever label on yourself you want to put. But we've all got this light within us, and we're here to light up the planet, but we're placed strategically in different locations around the planet. And it's some sort of like Light Bright game as to who goes where and when those souls have to move about in order to raise the vibe. Yes, they're giving me like so many chills. Like that's my confirmation if you're not familiar with how I work. Like Spirit will ping me with like chills when I'm kind of like, yes, that kind of like emphasizing what I'm saying is like right on track. So it's like this game of the game of Stratego, the game of Light Bright in a sense of like, and then when we have to move around, this is when I'm not exactly clear on, guys. So like I'm asking the guides to like help me here. So when we have to move around from one location to another, what in essence is happening there? So, like I've been in this location I've been in for 4 years now, and it was not of my own choice. So I'm doing the work of Spirit. Did not want to come here, but I was brought here for a reason. And later on, when I was talking to my guides about it, it was like there's some Atlantean line from where I live out in the Gulf of Mexico. It reaches out from the Gulf of Mexico all the way to Sedona, and my soul signature, whatever it is about the makeup of my DNA, was needed to help hold the high vibration of, oh yes, so many chills, of that of that line. And the crystalline templates within and around Gaia have to all light up in a particular frequency to help her what? To help her strive. Why are they saying strive? Like to help her light up. And so our vibe helps those crystalline templates stay high vibe, which in essence keeps the darkness out and keeps the light shining. And some of us, I wish I could. I want to have like a better understanding of the frequencies of like different DNA structures to understand like who's needed where. Like that's something I still. And they're saying we're not going to show you that now. So okay, so it's just something that is something I want to learn more about. To help people too to understand like, okay, I didn't want to be in this place. Why was I called here? almost against my free will choice. They're saying it wasn't really, because it was like a contract you made outside of your consciousness, unconscious knowing, to come to a certain place. So when we're asked to go to different locations and it's like we don't really want to go there, but we have to go there, what is that? Like, we contracted that before you're heeding the call on an unconscious level. You know you have to go. I don't know. I don't know now. So you just have to trust that when you're guided to go somewhere, even if it's somewhere that you didn't necessarily think you needed to go, that you're being sent there for a reason. And of course, I don't want to like downplay it, but as the angels and our guides always say, like, you're always divinely protected. You're always going to be supported. What you need is going to come to you almost really without you even trying. Like, you're just going to be like, okay, I have to go to this new place. And my gosh, what's it going to be like that when I'm there? And it's like, well, you're going to have everything that you need. I mean, you're not going to be sent into the lion's den. You're doing the work of Source, and you're doing the work of God and of the angels, and you're working on Team Light. And you wouldn't be sent somewhere to harm you. You're sent somewhere on a soul mission. So I just get the sense that many of you are going to be moving around soon, but you're not really sure like why you're being, it's almost like behind the scenes, your guides are pushing you to pick a location that you would never have normally thought about going to. Or you're just being led there, like, oh, my job's suddenly moving to this location, and well, I like what I'm doing, and so I guess I need to pick up and go over here, a place I would never have normally gone before. Another example I can think of that there too is like we don't have a ton of younger listeners on here, but I have seen in the analytics, we do have some listeners that are teenagers, that are under the age of 18. So some of you still live at home with your family. And I can think back to when I was a little girl, and it's like my dad was in the Coast Guard, and every 2 years he got a new post. And of course it was awesome, right? It was always on a beach somewhere, which is like it's my happy space, the ocean. Oh, don't let me talk about the ocean. So, okay, sorry, get emotional about the ocean. And, but every 2 years, he'd just be like, you'd get, you guys know, even like healing from when you were little, like you would go somewhere and you would make friends, and it's like, oh, gotta move again. And you're like, what? I don't want to move. I'm happy where I'm at. I'm in school with my friends or whatever. And now you're going to pick me up and you're going to move me to who knows where. I remember one time when I was little, like my dad was like, oh, we're going to move. My mom and my dad were like, your dad's going to have to move to Panama. And we were like freaking out. Like, what's Panama? We didn't even know what it was. Where is it? Like, I didn't want to move out of the country. And I think that fell through. We never did go there, but it's like, when you're little, why would you be taken somewhere that you didn't want to go? You kind of have to follow your parents, unless you somehow would break away from that, but not very likely. And so you're always a starseed, right? You're a starseed when you're born. You're a starseed as a teenager. You're a light worker. You may not activate those things until you're older, but some of you are activating quite early, like young teenagers I'm seeing are getting activated on this 111 gateway. I felt and saw for myself firsthand many teenagers getting activated to who they really are, starting to meditate, wanting to do energy clearing, channeling spirit guides. Firsthand, I was seeing that. So I know if there's some that I'm seeing, there's more out there. And that means more of you guys, younger folks, are going to be seeking understanding of what's happening to them as we have more of these crystal and diamond children activating. So you parents out there that are listening to this, you don't have just regular old children. I pretty much probably guarantee you that the majority of you that have kids and are light workers and starseeds and twin flames and all that, you got yourself some crystal children or some diamond children or, oh, so many chills. Yeah. And you're going to have to start helping them along and helping them understand how to work with their energy. They want to know like how to do energy clearing, how to work with their own soul signature. It's going to start coming up, so you better start getting ready for it, because these questions are going to start happening, and you just want to be prepared that in addition to your own awakening, you may be dealing with young ones who are awakening themselves and are going to need some extra support on their journey, especially when it comes to conversations about having trust and faith in their mission and their soul purpose, and what they're supposed to be doing, and dealing with some of the feelings that come up from young kids about I know it's a feeling of, in a sense, depression or anxiety. This is coming up because they want to already be on soul mission. Like, you're here on a mission, you already want to be doing it. But sometimes as a younger one, it's not time yet. You're still learning, and so there's a lot of anxiousness in the younger folks. Because they're ready to get going and they don't know necessarily how they can make a difference right now. And so it's your job as their guardian to help them understand their dharma, and that's their life path. And if you aren't clear yourself, if you aren't getting those downloads, which you can ask your guides to show you, do a reading for your kids, talk to them about what's going on, about what's happening. Just be upfront. The more you come out of the closet about your own spirituality, especially to your kids, the more they are going to activate and turn on and want to help. Though they want to help, and they want to have ways that they can feel like they're being of service, even if they're not completely out there in the world on their own, on their, activated on that particular service life path just yet. Their soul signature makes a difference too, and helps raise the vibration of the planet. And those are conversations that you can have with them to help them also understand that even if you're sitting in your room, meditating or just thinking about who you are, or you're outside in nature, you are making a difference to the planet. You're not just some lonely soul out there with nobody around you. You have spirit guides helping these kids want to know how to talk to their spirit guides, how to talk to, they have the psychic abilities to be able to do it. They just need the tools to be able to understand how to use those gifts and abilities. So obviously, I'm not tired, because this is all to uplift you and help you. So this is part of how you can also, you listening to this, can also feel like you're making a difference. Even if you feel like you're not on mission, like you're not doing some spiritually based business yet, or maybe you want to be, but you don't know how. In the meantime, while you're getting aligned to the timeline or the template or the place where you need to be, these are some other things you can and should be thinking about. Mentoring kids too. This is the big thing about coming up about kids. Being a mentor to some of these kids. And I really want to start, I just don't know if there's a listenership for it on YouTube, but start something for younger kids to help them. And so that's another thing I really want to start getting the word out about. But anyway, okay, so how you can we've already talked about, you are making a difference. There were some ideas of how. So Spirit, what else do you want to talk about? We want to talk about Uluru. So they want me to talk a little bit, and I don't typically go here just because everybody has their own ideas about this, but they want to talk about the pandemic ending, or I guess they're calling it the endemic. I don't really have any personal opinion on that, other than I'm just basically over all of that. But things are starting to open up again in some places and not so much so in others. And so I saw a big update. I don't really watch the news, but there are some way showers that do and kind of trickle that stuff down to where I can handle what I'm hearing. And it was shared that the UK is really starting to open up like, whoa, like a lot of things are being discontinued. A lot of the restrictions are being discontinued. And so now the focus being asked for those of you that want to spread some light love and love light to Uluru, as the sacred site of Uluru, coming through and asking for more support. Oh my God, my whole crown is like, I've just got so much heat through my body. Hold on. The sacred site of Uluru is coming through and asking for support for that area of the planet where there's just so much like restrictive energy and a feeling of being closed off. And I know we have listeners from those areas as well. And so you are making a difference. Your soul signature, you're where you need to be, even if they're saying, even if it feels like hell in a handbasket right now, like you're supposed to be where you're at. And to not, you can always question it, but you may not, Source may not give you, wow, did it get so hot? Source may not give you the reason why. Like sometimes I ask why, like, why are we doing it? It's like, well, only in hindsight will you sometimes come to understand some of these reasons why. Sometimes there's not an answer right this minute as to why, because the answer is something you won't understand until you've lived through certain experiences. And then looking back in retrospect, you come to understand the why of timing, of location, and all of that. So we just keep going back to timing and location. So we're going to do some light language to support all of you listening. And I want to also say that no matter how many people listen to this, because I know people get hung up on like, well, that video only has 7 views, or must not be any good. Or, that's got 1 million views. That must be great. It's more about, think of it more about what you do with what you're hearing, regardless of how many people hear it. Is it the 100 monkey thing they're talking about? So I share this, and other way sharers, not just me, but we're sharing this information with you. You're receiving it. You're receiving it via more ways than you realize. You're hearing it through your ears. You may be feeling it in your body, but at the same time, those of us that are activators, there's many of us, not just me, we're weaving within and around you frequency upgrades and vibrational status updates. It's like oh my God, it sounds so... It sounds like computer sex. It's like we're doing something to your hard drive in a sense. It's like we're I don't want to say manipulate. I don't like that word. It's like we're upgrading your hard drive, your avatar, with our words, our light language, our soul signature, our DNA, and the ability that we've been gifted by Source to be able to activate others to a higher vibrational frequency through whatever means we're using. In this case, this whole time you've been listening to me, this whole set of things we're talking about is in essence a package of activations, and they download in a way through your avatar. And the end result is that you're sparked to action in some way, be it your frequency rises, you take action on something that's said, but it's also like the water, like when you drop something in the water and all the vibrations go outward. It's like, I gave you this activation, you're activated, now you activate others around you, and they activate and activate. And so all of us in this little web of Lightworkers and Starseeds and Earth Angels and all of that stay activated and turned on and vibed up by all of our efforts. So with that being said, this Uluru. All right, you guys. All right, I'm going to bring in some light language to support Uluru and to support all of us. So what we're going to do in the first part is, as I'm delivering this Uluru light language, you are being asked to focus, just focus your heart light in whatever way that means to you, sending light love out from your heart, or holding your hands up and sending light out from your hands, or however you do it, but sending light love to Uluru and to our fellow family members, soul family tribe members in those locations. And it may not just be that area. I don't think folks here do, but let's not get caught up on like, how come you're sending light to this area, not this area? Like, if you've got some other word, we are not tit for tat. We're just not like that on this channel. And if you are, then you're probably in the wrong place. But if there's someplace else that you'd rather send your high vibes to, that's not Uluru, then just, you got free will choice, just go ahead and do it. You don't have to tell me about it. You just do it yourself. We're self-empowering here, and you can do whatever you want. Since you're being guided by your own intuition, by your own dharma, by your own life path. So I'm going to be sending light language and light to Uluru. If you would like to send it to another sacred space or location, please feel free. It's the same thing. Like, we send it to Uluru. The sacred sites are just like us, the avatars. One sacred, so many vibrations coming through me. We send it to Uluru, and it's the 100 monkey effect there too. Like, it just puddles out and vibrates out to all the other sacred sites and to the crystalline templates of the planet. And it all just gets turned on anyway. So it doesn't really matter. The other thing that keeps coming up is these 13 crystal skulls. There is, oh my God, the chills today are just overpowering. There is a group of 13 crystal skulls. They were created quite some time ago. They're like, oh my God. If you ever saw Sabrina on Netflix, there was like these 13 witches that were like the original 13 of the town. Oh my God, my crown is so activated. These crystal skulls are called like the original 13, and they're very they're very ancient, they're very starseed, and they have similar properties as these sacred sites. They're being kept by guardians who don't divulge who they are and don't really, there's only a few who have come forward and said, like, I've got one of these original 13, but really they're kind of kept in secret locations, these original 13. And they keep reaching out to me. So this light language is encompassing their energy as well, like all the sacred knowledge of all the light workers and starseeds that have come before you, cheering you on. It's just like this web of reciprocity coming from the sacred sites and coming from the original 13 crystal skulls and any other, obviously the Lemurian, oh my God, my Lemurian family and soul family and friends. Like, so many things we're activating here. But let's just get on with it, because I could like sit here all day and name all these things that are part of this transmission. All right. So first we're going to send light. I'm sending it to Uluru, doing this light language. Ultimately, since we deal with unity consciousness here and we are all one, we benefit from this regardless of where really necessarily it's being sent. And then the second part of the transmission will be to support you and boost you up a little bit, to raise your vibe, get you going higher, revving you up a little bit, giving you a feeling of support, a feeling that you're not alone, helping heal your heart. You may bring up some emotions, they're saying, within the next 24 hours to be healed. The majority of you listening to this have been doing this work for quite some time now, and you know how to move energy through you and not hold on to it forever. If you need help with that, you have no idea what I'm talking about, please reach out to a master healer to have someone help you. It doesn't have to be me. I mean, I do that. All my services are on my website. Feel free to peruse all of the goodness there, but reach out to somebody you feel comfortable with to help you move through anything that you feel like you cannot transmute on your own. So without further ado, this is a part where you do want to be kind of still. Receive these energies coming through. Let's take a deep breath together. Jirkitium arkahalia nya Shikirahake kanja kakara katete chandiate kakake tinya katata Chikanantia katenya tanja kahage ya kanya kayo chochonya yikachirete yatilira no 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 Chikanant Shikarahakia I Harinyar here high around ear of Shikika Arkinjar Gurkira. Kya Yaria Take a deep breath. Let's bring in some light language to support you now. Kita kita nyor kita taki kita ini totorishit kita nyor nyor agakai nyakari korishit tika tahi terara hai nyai hai Mereka tu tu singtek har kira o kira tete tete pot nya dia hat tinte tete aku ani he Cinyai karidor toko swi nyai uyinya bukongai yay Chicken eating Me a on in a o e g a car a it ni o near kata 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 Take a deep breath. Just want to share with you, for those of you who are curious about who's what, so what was all that? So the first part, when we were sending to Uluru, immediately what was being sent back by the elder spirits of that sacred site were blessings to all of us. I just kept hearing them say a blessing on your family, a blessing on your life, a blessing on your job. Like, they were so happy to be receiving this light from all of us, and they were immediately sending blessings back to us. So that was really nice. 13 skulls did come in. 13 skulls, 13 crystal skulls did come in and kind of transmit through me and help boost the power of the transmission to that whole entire area down there in Australia and whatever other areas you were sending to, since we're all one. The second part of the transmission was your star families, sending you support. As I was bringing the light language in, I was kind of asking, like, who's this? Because I don't always recognize them off the bat. So we had Andromedan, Vegan, Arcturian, and Pleiadian, and a little Lyran. Usually when you hear me talking light language, I think I've shared this before, it's a little bit of Lyran and Earth song from my Tuatha ancestral line. So it's kind of a mashup. All right, let me just check with the friends here that are with us. They just want to share. Good job, everyone. Like, really, I know you may be feeling like, don't be so hard. All the messages we always hear, like, don't be so hard on yourself. You're doing a great job. You really are, even if you feel like you're not. Plug in, like, take a minute to just plug in, especially you starseeds, plug in with your star family and just know that they're around you. They're with you. Talk to them more often, just like you were talking to anybody that, like their imaginary friends or whatever. I don't know. They're there. You just have to reach out. Like throughout the day, sometimes I'm kind of like, oh, you guys, I love you so much. And I'll just, talk to somebody. If you want to get on task with your starseed assignment, or, so he's reaching out to me now before I end this, or you want some Earth Guardian assignments. I've shared this before too, I think. Talk to Merlin, because he is, he's like the high core of my, he's almost like my high core. So for your Bringers of the Light fans, a high core is Dakar and Abigail's boss from the Bringers of the Light. And Merlin is like my high core, and he will give you sacred assignments. So if you feel like you're bored, or you want to feel like you're being a little bit more magical with your spiritual work, like check in with Merlin. He will have you do some stuff. And it's fun stuff. A lot of it is Earth Guardian stuff. Going to sacred sites. Like this is all energetically, right? Like you have to tap in with him. Or, however way you work through your spiritual gifts. But he will give you some fun assignments. And then you'll feel more like, oh, this is also what it means like to be an Earth Guardian. Like these things are really happening behind the scenes. It's not just made up stuff. Like this is always so cool to me. Like I really get to go over here and do this, like create this portal and do this thing and bring in some light. Like that's all part of raising the vibe of the planet, whether you're doing it in the 3D world or whether you're doing it multidimensionally like some of us are doing. But yeah, like I said, if you feel bored and you want some sacred assignments, like ask Merlin to come into your life and he'll give you some stuff to do. He's like taskmaster, list maker, and he will help you with your spiritual work. All right. So friends, I think that is all I have to share in this episode. I want to thank you all so much for being here. I hope you're feeling better now. And in the next 24 hours, just be aware of what comes up. Just move it into the violet fire or down into the Gaia for transmutation. Just move it out of your field. Don't hang on to it, whatever it is. Just acknowledge it with love and send it on its way. And feel good. Have a good day. We are all one. We're all doing this together, and you are not alone. I love you all very much, and we will see you all again soon. Take care. Thank you for listening to this podcast. It has been brought to you by the Bringers of the Light, an etheric group of higher light beings focused on service to Gaia, humanity, and the self as it pertains to the spiritual journey. So they are here to support you on your path to love and to working with others. Thank you so much for joining us. Take care.